Now, for nearly 45 years, Dr. O'Reilly's groundbreaking work has helped define the very mission and spirit of our charity. So it's only fitting that as we honor him with the Medicine Gives Hope Award, we hear directly from someone whose life was profoundly shaped by his extraordinary impact. So to present tonight's award, please help me in welcoming Ronald McDonald House alumni, Stephen Brandt.
Good evening, everyone, and thank you for the introduction. So I thought I'd start by reading a short poem that I wrote, actually, called The Playroom. In here, soft colors pooled across the floor, a harbor tucked beyond the beeping hall. A sign said, "No procedures past this door." Where laughter climbed the posters on the wall, we strung our names on patient-colored beads, built cities tall and out of Lego blocks, the volunteer clowns with smiles for our needs. And time, for once, forgot to check the clocks. In here, courage came in card turns, in juice sips. We scored the day in calendars with sticker stars. I learned to breathe between the counting drips and keep my gaze beyond the ivy scars. Now grown, I cross whatever rooms I must, but always find this one inside me, the playroom of warmth and trust. So I wanted to thank the Ronald Thank you all, and also thank you to the Ronald McDonald House organization for giving me the opportunity to speak here tonight. My name is Stephen Brandt, and I'm a former resident, a patient of Ronald McDonald House here in New York City. My mom, my dad, and myself lived here in the early 2000s for nearly half a year when I was only 4, when I was here to undergo a bone marrow transplant to treat a rare congenital disorder. And my mother is here with me tonight over at table 32. Even though it's been over 2 decades since that chapter of my life, I first vividly remember the empathy and the energy that can be found everywhere, in every nook and cranny at the Ronald McDonald House in New York. It matches the empathy that you tend to find on pediatric floors of hospitals and with their care teams, making a stay at the Ronald McDonald House for treatment a very coherent experience. There are many other memories I still carry with me, core memories from my time here so many years later. The playroom, my place of warmth and trust. There were also, how can I forget, so many other wonderful things about the playroom. There were arcade games in particular that I always used to play with my mom and my aunt. Hydro Thunder was a boat racing game, and there was a Star Wars Defeat Darth Vader game, and it actually turns out, how serendipitous, that an arcade local to where I live now carries the very same Star Wars game. I didn't research this at all, but yes, I did. And we still go there to play it, to relive such fond childhood memories. But all of the other events that Ronald McDonald House so proactively and thoughtfully planned for us. So Ronald McDonald House staff frequently took residents on short bus rides around the city to cool locations like Central Park and vistas along the river to watch the fireworks at the 4th of July. They also hooked us up with Yankees tickets, which as a kid who's born and raised in the greater Boston area and a lifelong Sox fan, all right, I see some people in the audience. This was just an excellent opportunity for me to boo Jeter. Joking aside, I think back to each of these and remember too, the community that the house built. How powerful are the bonds that can form between fellow patients and caregivers. And how wonderful it is that this house allows it to form so organically. Lastly, I still remember the aquarium. There's this giant fish tank on the ground floor of the house with so many tropical fish and an eel that I always look for and check on every morning before I would leave for treatment. I always found something so very calming about that. And that brings me to my next point. Life becomes very, very noisy surrounding treatment. It's overwhelming. I mean, it's New York. And it can take anyone months, if not years, to adjust to that. And yet, Ronald McDonald House in New York gave me and my parents a small reprieve, a sanctuary from many of those sources of noise. And speaking of houses and sanctuaries, I do dearly love Ronald McDonald House's slogan of providing a home away from home. But I do have to say that it sells you all just a tad bit short because it's so much more than that. Patients like me need more than a house. We patients and caregivers have so many unique needs. Each child is different. And yet you somehow provide the resources for all of our individual needs. You find ways to take in anybody. Fast forward to today, I'm now a grad student in the Boston area, and there's of course a Ronald McDonald House. Thank you. But there's of course a Ronald McDonald House in Boston, and I've spent a number of years as a volunteer there, so I have a pretty good understanding of what it's like to be both a patient and staff. I have a sense of just how much time, how much thought, how much planning, how much coordination, how much training, how much money, and just plain old sweat equity that goes into creating this wonderful sanctuary. I have a very profound sense of what this house is and what it stands for. And all I want to say to all of the many people who carry out the house's mission is thank you. Thank you for the wonderful life I've been able to live because of your kindness and generosity. Thank you for giving me a childhood. Now, as much as I could gush for hours and hours about Ronald McDonald House, New York, there's someone else who I owe the very deepest thank you that I can muster. Take a look at the screen. Dr. Richard J. O'Reilly, former chair of the Department of Pediatrics and chief of the Pediatric and Adult Bone Marrow Transplantation Services at Memorial Sloan, and founding board member of the Ronald McDonald House, New York, and a guest of honor this evening. He was the lead attending physician on my care team at Memorial Sloan Kettering. Dr. O'Reilly, you're a forever hero of mine, like countless other children. You saved my life, and for that I am forever thankful. And as much as I would love to go on a 60-minute montage of your warmth, your brilliance, and compassion, I instead get the profound honor of presenting you with the Medicine Gives Hope Award. From everyone in this room tonight and for all of the children around the world whose lives you saved, thank you, Dr. O'Reilly.
I'm not going to say very much because Stephen said it all. I want to thank every single person here. Obviously, I want to thank the McDonald Corporation and the whole start of the concept of the house where families can be, the home away from home, where they, as parents of kids who are potentially deathly ill, don't feel alone. And you've done that, and you've added on to this extraordinary venture, this extraordinary mission of the Ronald McDonald House. All of you, we're down here in Wall Street. Ken Langone, God love him, he showed it time and time again. And so many of you have done that as well. So I'm overwhelmingly honored to be here. I'm particularly overwhelmed by the fact that Stephen's back here, because we talk about his PhD training all the time. I get a real kick out of it, to say the least. That's what we're all about. When I was a resident, I was told in Boston it was unethical to tell a parent that his child was going to survive cancer, survive a leukemia. Now it's 90% for leukemias, 70% overall. But remember this, we still have a way to go. We have some tumors that have still been horrifically difficult to deal with. And more importantly, we want none of those other side effects if we could be targeted to the tumor. We're at that, but without the Ronald McDonald House, this will not occur in the way it should. It should be available to anyone. You guys are making it possible, and I can't thank you enough.